Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alyssa, and today I'm going to be doing a Draw My Life video. So I was born in the state of Massachusetts on September 11th, 1996. When I was born into a family of three. My dad, my mom, and my sister. 2 years after I was born came my brother, making me the middle child. Growing up, we lived in a great neighborhood. It was very small, so all of our neighbors and us were very close. The best part about this neighborhood was my house was so close to Caitlin's house. Caitlin and I met when we were 4 years old. She was my first childhood friend. But everything came crashing down when I found out I was moving. We decided to move when I was 7 years old. The move wasn't that drastic because we decided to stay in the same town. But it still left me really sad, considering I had to leave my best friend. While this was all happening, I was in elementary school, so at least I knew that I could still see Caitlin there. But school was really hard for me. I was struggling with math. The school decided to put me in a special class that focuses on subjects that kids are struggling with. And that's where I met Lindsay. Lindsay and I became really close and we started talking to each other daily. I then realized that she lived in the same neighborhood that I lived in now. When I was in 3rd grade, the elementary decided that it was too small, so they had to split our grade up. Luckily, my best friends were chosen to be split up with me, and they ended up sending us to the new elementary school. Then middle school came. It was kind of weird coming to middle school. We didn't really know the other half of the town since we got split up so young. Everyone seemed to have their own cliques. But I still had my childhood friends like Lindsay and Caitlin, plus a lot more. I was honestly so happy and would have to admit that middle school was one of my happiest years. 7th grade came and I had my first boyfriend. We dated from 7th grade to when he was in 9th, since he was a year older than me. I really thought that we were in love. Maybe we were, maybe we weren't, but either way it ended. Then high school came, and I was not so happy. I still had all my friends with me, but I just was sad and confused. May 2012, I met this guy named Zach. Me and Zach would text a lot. The first time that we ever met, we had a bonfire in his backyard. I was too shy to just go alone, so I brought my friend with me. One thing I remember the most about that night was the fact that he was wearing boots with socks while wearing shorts. I thought he was really funny. As time went on, I found myself falling in love with him. He was always there to make me laugh and was so sweet to me. June 17th, 2012 was the day that we started dating. 10th grade, I was still really unhappy with school. That's when I decided to transfer from my high school to a college program, where I finished my high school while taking college courses. I was so happy once I switched over to this program. I was even getting good grades, like A's and B's. I even graduated early. I ended up walking with the rest of the class in 2015 of May. It took me a while to decide if I wanted to walk or not because I was nervous, because, well, I was really pregnant. 9 months to be exact. I found out I was pregnant back in October. I took a test one morning before I went to school. I had no emotion. I was in pure shock. I ended up keeping it a secret from my family. The day that I found out, I had Zach come to my school on my lunch break. We were sitting in my car, and I told him on a rainy October day. I was really scared to tell him, but he took the news very well. He was even crying because he was so happy. It made me feel so relieved in thinking that we could actually do this. I was really nervous to tell my family and friends, but after I told them, they were all really supportive of me. Towards the end of my pregnancy, I barely saw Zach. He decided to always hang out with his friends instead. I always felt really lonely and sad. But that all changed on June 11th, 2015, when Briella May was born. She weighed 7 pounds and she was 19.5 inches long. Having her right beside my bed was amazing. I always loved to look over at her, but I seemed like I couldn't enjoy it as much as others would because I was so sick. My labor went so smooth, but when I was recovering, that's when it all went downhill. Since I was so sick, I had to stay in the hospital for a couple days. I basically missed the first week of my daughter's life. I ended up getting really depressed, and I would cry a lot. I would even tell the nurses to leave me alone. I would make myself sleep for hours. When I was healthy enough to go home, I was able to hold my daughter in my arms again. It felt so good to see her. Being home was rough, not because I had a newborn, because I kept on getting sick. But as 3 months later, I started feeling myself again. As of today, we live in a crazy house with my dad, my mom, my sister Devin, her son Jordan, my brother, Briella and I, and Zach sometimes stays the night. I hope you enjoyed the Draw My Life video, and stay tuned for more videos to come.